This video and all videos on the channel are brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. So if you're looking to pick up magic singles or sealed product, use the code Kenobi at checkout or the link in the description below to get 5% off your order and support the channel. And of course, the channel is also brought to you by Ultra Pro, who have the best in deck and card protection in the industry with a huge, wide range of official art and wonderful satin towers, and dice products too, including these wonderful keyword counters. You can represent your flying counters from Ikoria, your shield counters from Luca Penna, or just plain old +1/+1 counters. Available from all good local game stores and from the shop link in the description below. Jumpstart was a product that was pretty well liked. I would go as far as to say it was loved by the community. It was a product that was easy and accessible to new players, but also gave a new and interesting draft or limited environment for established players. The gameplay went like this. You took 2 boosters out of a box or off the store shelf, you opened them, each one would be a preset booster, so they weren't randomized. You get random archetypes per booster. The cards in there will be from a set list. So if you open elves, it'll be one of 2 set lists of elf boosters. You open 2 different things, you mash them together, and boom, you've got a limited deck. There are 20 card boosters, so more land than normal to make. That's why the boosters are 20 cards each. And then you play. You play with you opened Merfolk, or you opened Instance Matters. Well, your deck's kind of shit, but you get to play. So Jumpstart was popular enough that they're bringing it back for Dominaria United. We are getting Jumpstart Dominaria United alongside Dominaria United, one of the worst set names in history. I really hope it's not a real set name. That's right, Jumpstart is back, and I, for one, am happy because I thought Jumpstart was a really cool and fun product to play with, even if the experience itself didn't have the depth and longevity of a normal draft environment. It was still really fun to play a few games in. However, there comes an interesting point now that the original booster boxes for Jumpstart were 24 packs each at around the $100 mark. I think you can pick them up in the UK at the moment for around £90. And then Jumpstart 2 Electric Boogaloo, or specifically Dominaria United, just so we could get 1 per set in the future. Well, this product is only 18 boosters per box. Again, there's no MSRP, which just took that away a long time ago because it makes these kind of conversations difficult to have, and it helps to shrug off criticism, basically. So, okay, 18 packs versus 24, that's 6 less boosters per box, and the price point is around the same. At the moment, I think Jumpstart is around $10 less. $10 obviously doesn't equate to 4 boosters, but yeah, you're getting less bang for your buck. Now, this is the same kind of product that was successful before, so it's weird for them to give you less for your money. In some ways, it's them experimenting. It's them trying to figure out where the line is. I've talked about this quite a bit in private and on stream, I think, but I haven't talked about this explicitly in a video that Wizards of the Coasts have been probing. They've been trying to figure out where the line is for what they can charge and what they can get away with. Recently, I was having dinner with some friends and a patron, shout out to Jafar the Jam Jar, and he was saying about how they keep pushing that line. And I found that interesting. I was like, I don't think they push the line. I think they put the line way forward previously with VIP boosters from the first Double Masters and with the Secret Lair Fetchland edition, and then they realised that those didn't quite work, that those VIP boosters were stuck on shelves for the longest time and still are, as far as I understand it. I see them in my local game store all the time. So they've then realised that's too far, and now they're playing in between where that line is and here. Like, think about it. When we got collector boosters for the VIP one, that was $100 for like 2 Double Masters boosters, essentially. That was a $100 booster. And that was only a year or so after Project Booster Fun had started. We went from having $2 or $3.50, well, $2.50 back in the day, right? Okay, so let's say $3.50, £3.50 boosters. For the longest time, it was the established model for Magic the Gathering. It was what you knew and expected. And then Project Booster Fun comes around, which is where they announced the initiative to give you draft, set, and collector boosters. Basically, 3 different booster products. But in addition to that, it was 3 different price points, including a $20 booster. And then before long, we got to this point where we had a premium booster that was like $10, and then a premium version, Premium Plus, the collector version of Double Masters. Actually, Double Masters was more than $10, wasn't it? Anyway, $100. That jump was very, very quick. They have been probing to figure out how far they can push things for quite some time. I'm just looking it up now to remind myself. VIP edition was $100 on launch, right? And a lot of online retailers in the UK now are something like 150, 160, 33 cards and 2 fucking rares. It's basically 2 bastard boosters. It's crazy. Meanwhile, it's 200 English pounds to get yourself 4 collector boosters, which is significantly better than the 1 VIP one before because this gives you 4 boosters. Each of those collector boosters having multiple rares, 3 or 4 rares in them. So it's a considerable better deal than it was. But you see what I mean? They put the line way out there. They pushed it as far as it could go, or beyond where it should go with VIP. And then they've pulled it back and they're still experimenting in that space. So on top of experimentation and corporate greed, we now have Jumpstart coming with 4 less boosters. Now the really interesting thing about this is that that really fucks with what the whole plan for the fucking box is, right? Originally you had 24 boosters, and if you just gave 2 boosters to each person to play Jumpstart in its most basic form, that gives you 12 players. Now you get 9 players out of a box. I guess it's more than a draft pot of 8, but don't forget everyone's gonna get 2 boosters. I brought this up on a Discord call with my highest tier patrons. Once a week, so just shout out for my Patreon, once a week I sit down with my higher tier, the $25 and upwards, and we chat the shit. We talk about Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, D&D, food, geography, whether or not isopropyl alcohol will explode if I leave it in my utility room, you know, the normal stuff. And whilst we were talking about these things, Tab, one of my higher tier patrons, talked about how much he loved Jumpstart initially, although he thought it got boring up quickly. And he said how original Jumpstart had this leaflet in the box that told you how to play with a draft box. I've got it on screen now, the shots it took for me. Jumpstart's a fun way to combine cool and crazy themes. The idea, it says, is to first open all of your Jumpstart boosters. That's 4 packets per player. That's a pot of 6 now. This is all honky-dory, but 6 players, that gives you, 3 different people to play against in a draft. That kind of makes sense to get 3 rounds. You then pick how to combine your 4. So that gave you an element of choice, right? If you opened elves and elves, you combine them together. If you open instant matters and graveyard recursion, maybe that would be better together than the other ones in that alongside those. Game 1, pick up one of your 2 decks to start things off, and game 2, you now battle with your second deck. And then in the best of 3 conventional limited format, you get to go ahead and just smash him on the 3rd game with whichever deck you like. It's a best of 3 format. It gives you some choice in how you construct your deck. It gives you an interesting thing of like, in the 3rd game, which deck did you pick? Is it good against your opponents? And that sort of thing. Now, that doesn't work. Now, if we assume a pod is still 6 players, which gives 3 players the chance to play 3 rounds against 3 different opponents, that means you get 3 boosters each, which means at the beginning of it, you get to pick maybe one of the boosters. You open all 3 and you look at your archetypes and you're like, I'm gonna not use the archetype that is, I don't know, let's just the word dog shit on it. So you're like, I won't use dog shit. I'll just use monkeys and violent diarrhea, which is close to dog shit, but it's got more of a burn element to it. So you shuffle them together and you play, and you play, and you play, and you play best of 3, and you move on to the next one. Not only now have you had less choice in how you draft or how you build or construct your deck in this limited environment, you then get less choice and less of a gameplay experience when it comes to playing Jumpstart as a booster box experience as well. Ultimately, I do understand that most people probably didn't play it this way. Most people didn't buy a box. I bought a box, and then because of COVID, never got to draft it because they released it during a global pandemic. But most people probably didn't play it in this box way, and I didn't even remember this leaflet existing. And when Tab told me about it and I read it, I thought, you know what? That's actually a really fucking fun way to play Jumpstart. But instead, now we don't have. So not only are you getting less for your money, arguably maybe $10 less difference in price, but I reckon by the time Jumpstart's been and gone, both boxes will be selling for the same amount of money or have sold for the same amount of money. Not only are you getting less for your buck, they've now just like gutted this limited experience that they'd built in the previous product. Well, I've had manual focus on the entire video, so some of that's going to be out of focus. And to me, that speaks of real greed, right? The initial vision, the idea of how Jumpstart would work as a simple and straightforward limited product that you probably introduce people to before they get into drafting or sealed, it seems. I love the idea of Jumpstart. And this whole idea of having 2 decks that you can swap between is wonderful for giving you choice and variety of gameplay experience for the draft or draft that you've brought into out of this box. And then we now have less bang for your buck and a gutting of that experience as well. And why? Because it increases profit margins. We often joke that Wizards of the Coast is a greedy company, and they do things that the cynical would suggest are purely to line their pockets and increase said profit margin, the line forever going up. And the thing is, sometimes that cynicism, it feels unwarranted. But in recent times, the last few months at the very least, I can't help but feel that the cynicism is warranted, and it's hard to argue it. We saw Baldur's Gate Commander Legends come, and then we had spoiler season for the next set start 5 days later. Commander Legends only had a handful of reprints in its non-premium price. I understand it's a bit dearer because the packs are larger, but the non-premium price point product, and then all the good reprints were stuck in Double Masters, which is currently being revealed as I make this video, and let's be honest, it is Commander Legends 2, the real one, with all the Commander reprints you could ask for. There's so much good shit in there, but it's a premium price product. And then we've got all the changes of like collector boosters being really expensive and stuff. And I've said in the past, like, I don't give a shit if collector boosters exist as long as we have a cheaper price point to enter. So if you've got your normal cheap draft booster and then a $20 collector booster, at least you can get in on the ground floor with the other one and still play. The problem is with premium product, that ground floor is lifted 2, 3, 4 fold, and it just It's fucking absurd. Beyond that, Dockside Extortionist being one of the reprints, 100% should have been in Baldur's Gate. I can't believe an extortionist goblin wasn't in the fucking D&D set. And then its flavor text says, it's just business, which I don't know if that's got to be a coincidence, right? It can't be like a sly nod from Wizards. And then we have Jumpstart coming with less boosters per box. And you just can't not see the cynical side of it. It's just mask off greed at that point. And that's it. That's the video. I was annoyed when I knew it had less boosters, but when I realized there was a limited format that involved using more boosters previously that people enjoyed, and that's been like gutted, if you will, then I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So I wanted to make a quick video about it. I hope you found this informative in some way. I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section below. I don't think everything Wizards does is bad. I think actually a lot of the game design they've done in the last few months has been pretty good if we haven't stayed on planes for very long. Fuck, I can't remember what New Capenna looked like at this point. But fucking hell. You don't have to lessen what we get for our pound or our dollar every 5 fucking seconds, Wizards. Jesus Christ. I've been Vince. Smash that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all soon for more videos this week. Ta-ta for now.